Hi, Peter Bernstein from the Austin Convention Center, the floor of IT Expo Austin 2012. I'm the senior editor for our website, and we're talking unified communications
That's
and
right.
contact centers
Exactly.
with Kelly Burke, product management of Aspect. Kelly, welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Let's start with industry trends. All of us who have been in this business for a while, and,
Right.
and I actually go back to the start of Aspect.
Right.
The promise of UC has been the promise of UC. We've actually had a
Right.
couple of keynote speakers talk about that. I think we're at the inflection point where it actually becomes the adoption rate takes off, number one. And I want you to talk about that in the context of your main business, which is the contact center business, because I think the multi-channel experience is really what's driving all of this. And tell me what Aspect's view is on all of this.
That's exactly right. So one of the key trends that we've been seeing relates to a consumer preference actually towards self-service, believe it or not. You remember the days when self-service was a dirty word, IVR was a dirty word, right? Now what we're seeing, because of consumers being so much more empowered, because of all the access to information, because of the explosion really of mobility, I think we're seeing consumers really want to self-serve, meaning they want to do their own research, they really want to have access to products and services anytime, anywhere. And so you're seeing folks who really want to use that information, maybe do their research, and at some point in time, then they may escalate to a contact. But companies have really got to start to look at exposing self-service in different ways than maybe traditionally, because voice, right? Voice is still there.
They also have to give credibility to self-service, right?
Absolutely.
Because if you look at the numbers that I look at, a lot of people don't trust self-service because they've had bad experiences.
That's exactly right.
That doesn't mean they've had good experiences with contact center or live agents, but it does mean that if you're going to shift them to self-service, you need to make that a compelling experience that satisfies people.
Right, and it's not less service.
No.
That's the other thing. Yeah, it's actually more service, and it's a continuum of service. So the idea, there's some trends around web customer service, right, and the notion that you're doing some sort of a self-service action, and then you're going to live assist. And the tricky part there, right, is that customers expect you to know where they've been. They expect you to know that you were on their website. They expect you to know that you were halfway through this interaction, and now they need help.
Right. It used to be they just want to know.
That's right.
Okay, so where's my shipment?
Right. Exactly.
Or
exactly.
And an agent would go,
yeah, let me
bring up a file.
Let me call you back, or I don't know.
Yeah, let me get back to you on that, right?
Right. Well, and that kind of leads to the next part of the problem. So one part of the problem is how do you, a lot of the environments for delivering these different channels have been siloed traditionally, right? So the information sharing between what they did on the web, or when they call you, the agents ask you questions all over again. Who are you? Where, what are you doing? The expectation is that those things have to be much more tightly coupled. So having a consistent experience, having a unified experience about how you offer these channels, channels is key. The other thing is when the interaction finally gets to the agent, it's a lot harder now.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot more complex, and now you have to look at the agent's social environment. So the other trend, besides the mobility trends, is that related to social. I mean, there's tons of hype around social, right? But ultimately, social is where consumers are hanging out, so that's one angle. So you kind of need to go where your customers are. And then the other piece of it is your agents now, of course the younger population as well, but they've got to be empowered with a social ecosystem as well, because they don't magically have all the answers, but they've got to have a way to get to the answers.
So before, little wrap up here, since I wanted to get to, so what is Aspect doing specifically to not just ride the wave, but create a wave?
Right, absolutely. Right? So one of the things that we believe is critically important is really embracing that the entire enterprise needs to be part of the interaction, and that part of unified communications enablement is really about putting unified communications really into every element of the business, into every element of the interaction. So you're going to find much more linkage between back office processes and the front office processes. So we're working on tighter integration of unified communications tools like collaboration, like delivering instant messages as a channel directly to an agent, as well as then engaging the back office for things like having experts help out with an interaction so that it drives first contact resolution. It's really driving, I mean, if I think of the things that we're most concerned about now, it has to do with building an exceptional customer experience. So all the work that we're doing around embedding unified communications, working towards engaging the back office, working towards more consistency and access to the customer data, right, to help the agent be more empowered.
Well, I want to thank you for stopping by and chatting with us, and I hope you have a great show.
Well, thank you very much.